Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Well, I hate like heck to do this to you, but I'm going to have to show you a little clip from The View. I know it's above and beyond the Call of Duty, but if you bear with me, Senator Tim Scott draws booze during chaotic The View appearance, forcing host Whoopi Goldberg to apologize. Yeah, crocodile tears. Co-host Whoopi Goldberg scolded the audience after it booed Republican presidential candidate. Now, they also booed Governor Sununu from New Hampshire, and she said the same thing. Well, the thing is, though, they change the audiences all the time, so absolutely means nothing. They're just pretending like they gave a good damn. Now, let's listen.
The exception, right? You're the exception. Maybe even Miss Whoopi Goldberg is the exception.
Oh, she's definitely the exception.
But we are not the rule. And so when it comes to racial inequality, it persists in 5 core aspects of life in the U.S. Economics, education, healthcare, criminal justice, and housing. At nearly every turn, these achievements were fought, threatened, and erased, most often by white violence. You have indicated that you don't believe in systemic racism. What is your definition of systemic racism?
Let me answer the question that you've answered.
Or does it even exist in your mind?
Let me answer the question this way. One of the things I think about, and one of the reasons why I'm on the show, is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show, that the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception and not the rule. That is a dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today, that the only way to succeed is by being the exception. I will tell you that if my...
We'll just leave it at that. And you're going to see as you scroll down. Now, I want to say up front, I don't know how I hold myself personally responsible, but at least responsible indirectly, because Sonny Hostin went to college here in my hometown in upstate New York of Binghamton, New York. She went to SUNY Binghamton before she transferred to law school. So I guess my tax dollars help educate, and I use that in air quotes, this moron. And I use moron because I want to say something else, but this website won't allow it. The View co-hosts were joined by Senator Tim Scott on Monday in the wake of his recent 2024 presidential campaign announcement, and once again, a Republican guest earned boos from the audience. Co-host Whoopi Goldberg scolded the audience after booing Scott. He said he believed the Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis started off on the right foot in his feud with Disney as it relates to kids. No. This is as the crowd is booing. No. I'm sorry, Goldberg said to the audience after they booed. This is The View. We accept. We don't have to believe everything people say, but you cannot boo people here. Please, you cannot do it. Please continue. What a joke. They say the most horrible, racist things. They've said horrible stuff about Republicans and people that don't disagree with them. They are the true racists. All people of a certain race, a certain gender, all have to think the same, like them. It's a joke. And to pretend like she's trying to be even-handed is personally insulting. Goldberg seemingly shut down the audience after they booed a Republican New Hampshire John Chris Sununu, who joined the host on May 25th. Sununu at the time was mulling a presidential White House run, but he decided against it. Look at this picture. As Tim Scott's talking to him, Whoopi's over there hugging her like she's being attacked, and it's disgusting. And she's pretending to look right into his eyes. These people are only doing this for ratings. Believe me, it's just for ratings. I don't know what the ratings are. They can't be too good anymore, but I'll tell you, SUNY Binghamton is where Sonny went, my hometown, and there's a crap load of education shot to hell. Look at these morons. She's like, got her arm around her like, it's okay, dear. It's all right, honey. The boogeyman won't get you. These people suck so bad. Let's read on. Scott had spirited but respectful exchanges on the show Monday, but the crowd turned on him when left-wing pundit Anna Navarro, who's another moron, angrily asked about Tim DeSantis, whom she openly detests, and his war on wokeness. So I think protecting our kids from the indoctrination that's happening in our culture today is an important part of the equation, Scott said. Very reasonable statement. I'll also go a step further and say, listen, the radical left is getting involved from a corporate perspective on a number of issues, like the Georgia state law, which was supposed to be Jim Crow 2.0. Oh, by the way, Tim Scott is a senator from the state of South Carolina, who for over a century, if not still to this day, is considered the most racist state. He's a black man who is a senator, a U.S. senator, not a state senator, a U.S. senator, and supposedly the racist state. They say that because South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union. I thought I'd throw that in for whatever it's worth. This was supposedly the new law in Georgia is supposed to be Jim Crow 2.0. The fact of the matter is, when we look at the results of the last election, what we saw was not Jim Crow 2.0. What we saw was an actually record-breaking number of African Americans not only voting, but also succeeding at the ballot. Now, he did say later that he was going through all the senators, and he said that Kamala Harris was a African American, which she is not. But maybe he just misspoke. Goldberg and co-host Sonny Hostin, again I apologize, also pressed Scott on how Republicans were making progress in the issue of race. At one point, Goldberg walked over and put her arm around Hostin as Scott addressed them both, noting he had a diverse Senate staff as well. And they were saying that you're the exception to the rule. I'm the exception, Sonny says, for being on here. You're the exception to the rule. And that's what he was talking about. Moron, Miss Hostin, moron. Everybody that's in high levels like you, Senator Scott, CEOs of corporations, doctors, you go through the list of very high, we'll call ranking in society professions, they are the exception to the rule, no matter what color they are. The vast majority of the other 98% of the people are just everyday people, electricians, teachers, stay-at-home moms. But the list is endless. Working in grocery stores, working in retail stores. That's the population. The people that make it to the top 1% of 2% of wage earners, they're the exception, and they have all different colors. These people just don't get it. Because a certain percent has to be black in order for it to be not racism? It's insane. These are the same morons that believe in eugenics. It's incredible to me. I could go on, but you're only one black senator out of 50, which is a lie. Only one black senator out of 50? I don't know. Let's look at the number of African Americans that have served in the Senate in the last 10 years, he said. Mo Cohen from Massachusetts, you have Cory Booker, you have myself, you have Kamala Harris, and you have Raphael Warnock. Now, Kamala Harris isn't technically an African American, but I'll give him a pass. He said the U.S. was making measurable progress and continued to do so, but he was told by a producer for the show who walked on set that he had to go to commercial. Yeah, when he was starting to make brownie points, they have to go to a commercial. Isn't that funny how that works? It's amazing to me. They ever cut off their own people and go to a commercial? Very rarely. It's amazing. Like I said, I'm 50-50 on Scott. I mean, he's okay. I don't have any huge disagreements with him. He's a little too wussy for me. He tries to be reasonable with unreasonable people, and that's kind of a dead end. Scott appeared to be enjoying himself on the show, playfully standing up and to give a sermon of sorts at one point when Goldberg cut him off to go to commercial. In the next segment, Goldberg had the producer personally come on stage and tell Scott they had to cut for break. Scott sat for 3 segments, which is a lot. And at one point, he criticized the host earlier who previously comments had made after he announced his campaign. Joy Behar, who wasn't president, that piece of had said Scott didn't understand systemic racism. A rich, white, ugly woman. She doesn't understand, but she does, though. Systemic racism remarks that drew a sharp rebuke from Scott and other conservatives. They actually called this guy, Senator Scott, the term Uncle Tom. Social media's you're a black sellout, that you don't think like the rest of the black people and you sold out to the white supremacists, which is absolute total bull. The fact of the matter is, Uncle Tom in the book was the hero who would not sell out slaves that ran away and died because of it. Morons. They called him Uncle Tim. Right on that show. I give Senator Scott credit for going on there. One of the reasons I'm on the show is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show. Is the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception, not the rule. That's dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today. The only way to succeed is by being the exception. If you're a basketball player and you don't get to play in the NBA, then you're a failure. No, 1/100 to 1/10 to 1% or probably less play in the NBA. They're CEO of major corporations. They get positions like Sonny Hassan has. They are the exception, not because of their race, because there's only a small amount of people that are exceptional. People are great. The everyday person is just fine. But some people are just exceptional. I mean, you look at some of the scientists and Nobel Prize laureates. Most of them are exceptional people. Had nothing to do with their race. It's stupid and incredible. A very tiny, tiny percent are incredibly high successful rate. Doesn't mean the rest of them are unsuccessful. They're still living good lives with their families. They're electricians, they're plumbers, they're school teachers. I mean, they're office workers, and the list is endless. That's the 98% of the people that are in this country, Ms. Hostin. Oh, gosh, I wish I had known she would be on The View. Could see in the future when she went to SUNY Binghamton, I probably would have tried to run into her on purpose and tell her, here is your future, moron. And she's extremely rich. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, you'll never see her tax return because they won't leak it. I wonder how many charities she gives to in the multi-millions that she makes in the beautiful house and houses that she lives in. Isn't that interesting? She won't even go out in public to go grocery shopping. She made that clear. It's amazing to me. How much does she give to the predominantly black colleges? The answer, 0. How many she gives to charities? 0. You have the NAACP giving out a traveler's alert to black people to go to the state of Florida. These people are out of their minds. Well, good for you, Senator Scott. I would have asked right up front. How about my apology for calling me Uncle Tim? But maybe he had a little more class than that. We'll see. Anyway, folks, hypocrites on parade. But I think they're having people like Senator Scott, Governor Sununu, and others on the show because they're getting so much criticism and their ratings are going down the tube. We'll have to see. They're trying to survive, and they're swimming upstream, and I hope they don't make it. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.